1-0. Our presenting sponsor this afternoon, Louisiana Hot Sauce, the original hot sauce. Time now for the Honda Power Sports keys to the match. Honda Power Sports, home of motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides built with legendary quality, innovation, and performance. I can tell you this, in talking with the coaching staff last night for Chattanooga, hold on for the first 30 minutes and see where we are from there. Overcome the loss of 2 starters. We'll talk about that as we get into the broadcast. For Alabama, bring on the attack and don't make any mistakes behind that. Let's go ahead and get you to the Coca-Cola NISA WPSL standings. These will be the WPSL standings, brought to you by Chattanooga Coca-Cola Bottling Company, proud sponsors of Chattanooga FC and being the world's first ever Coca-Cola bottling franchise. And there you see on your screen what Chattanooga has in store for them this afternoon as they take on North Alabama. North Alabama so far this year is a team that has won a pair and has tied one. They have 7 points. Chattanooga picking up their first couple of points just the other night with a win against North Alabama SC, who has lost now 4 in a row. Time now for the starting lineups brought to you by Chattanooga Sports. They invite you to come check them out by visiting www.visitchattanooga.com. And there you see the starting lineups for Alabama FC, and we can tell you they've got a good one out there. One of the league's very best with the ball on her foot, and so Chattanooga will have this player marked all night long. And that will be, among others, it will be Whitaker, who we expect, or Mattingly, excuse me. Mattingly is the one that has done so well this year, and we will see her out there, not on the lineup, but we anticipate seeing her. Over for Chattanooga this evening, their starting lineups, and you can see there, of course, the one that everybody's still talking about, and we're expecting high things from this afternoon, Isabel Aguilera. She got the team on the board with the first goal just the other night when they hosted Alabama FC, and then the goalkeeper this afternoon, Abby Sadler, making her second start. She is a player that plays here locally and collegiately for Randy Douglas here in this facility, collegiately at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, that is. So we'll take a break, we'll come back, and when we do, we'll have the kickoff for this match right here from Finley Stadium. More in a moment. Just tell me when we're going in. Our kickoff this afternoon being brought to you by Crystal Air Kickoff, serving the Southeast since 1998, offering charter and dedicated routes, great maintenance, and find out more by visiting Crystal Air. And we are underway here at the Fort as Chattanooga is looking for their second win of the season, and of course it will be a tall order this afternoon against a squad from Alabama that is primarily made up of SEC, Southern Conference, and Sun Belt Division I players. This is a loaded team that makes the trip here this afternoon. Already behind the defense, Sadler comes out and knocks this one away as Alabama FC enters into the box on their first rush here on the afternoon. And Sadler looks to be okay as she shakes that one off. And right on script, Alabama FC in a attacking mode as we wait for this one to get thrown back in. And this will be the first corner of the afternoon for either club as we are just underway. Alabama FC with some of the very best as the header floats high and out of play in this league. They have got the scoring power, and we mentioned Chattanooga down by 2 players, most notably Natalie Villalobos, the red card in the previous contest against North Alabama, not in the lineup this afternoon. A call-up today as well, as also Caitlin Newsom is out. MJ Parks, a practice player, will see action this afternoon for the Chattanooga Football Club. turned here and in the triangle. Sent wide, and the flag is up and offsides. And talking last night with Randy Douglas, the head coach for Chattanooga, he said, look, I really think the key to this one is going to be, where are we after 30 minutes? Going to play some possession ball here this afternoon, see if they can't frustrate a offense in Alabama that likes to be aggressive. So how much press will Alabama apply? Well, we're about to see as they turn this one over again. Trying a diagonal run towards the center. It's broken up. Alabama FC wearing their traveling black uniforms today and the white numerals. Chattanooga in their home powder blues this afternoon with the white numbers on them. It is an ideal afternoon for soccer here in town. The wind is blowing. It can be a little hot. This one sent into the box and handled easily there. As we are now into our 3rd minute of action. And Chattanooga looking to find a way to counter here as they begin to build up and try to come out with this one. Sending it out of play. So the side throw. Handled there by Green. Another player we'll be keeping an eye on today. They get behind the defense, and this one is cut off and sent wide and out of play. Green, another one of those special players that Alabama possesses. Throwing in from the side here. That's Stevens. Backs herself into a corner. She'll be marked, double marked there, and decides rather just to send it out, or has it kicked away from her rather. And so still with possession. The ball is won by Chattanooga but held back in by Alabama. Again, Alabama entering this contest with 7 points. They are tied with the Nashville Rhythm in the Southeastern Conference of the WPSL. Chattanooga gets behind the defense here. The flag remains down, and the goalkeeper Gonzalez will have to come out and handle. So just to recap those Southeastern Conference standings, it is Nashville, Alabama FC, Tennessee Force FC, followed by Chattanooga and, as we mentioned, North Alabama. Mid-pitch and out of play. Chattanooga trying to press on the ball here. Nearly forcing the turnover. Now they've created some space and an opportunity here. A one-touch pass sent wide. Aguilar fires it beyond the potential offensive player. Just extending a little bit, unable to connect on that through touch. This is Green. After a handful of jersey, Alabama FC will maintain possession here. Green, the 2019 Southern Conference Freshman Player of the Year. And after that, the highly decorated player transferred to South Alabama. And I mentioned that there was a multitude of players on this squad from the Southeastern Conference, most notably Alabama and Auburn. And there are several teammates, and there is a sister combination as well. headed away there. Alabama has made the trip today with a substitute goalkeeper and only one other player available. And this is normally a game in the women's ranks here, in the amateur ranks, where we will see substitutions at maybe about the 15-minute, 19-minute mark. That's not uncustomary, and we will see, you know, a truckload of substitutions when the time comes. Pushed away, trying to catch up in the corner, and that one gets out. But that will not be the case today in substitutions for Alabama. Aguilar to throw in here. Footed right back to her. She is so dangerous. A player that coach just loves to watch play. She back foots it. It's sent forward. It's returned. And Alabama regrouping here. Aguilar nods it forward. Kicked out and held in there. That's Stevens. Stevens pushes wide, and this one stays wide. Looking ahead, this is Green. Green on the run. And held up there defensively. Back to Henke. And in the corner there, Mattingly. And she is dealt with. Another player, the forward, Riley Mattingly. An all SEC type of player at Alabama. There are just so many offensive threats for this Alabama club. Chattanooga's defense today certainly will be tested. Aguilar, double marked on the high and the low end. Throwing it in, the newest addition, MJ Parks. Parks wearing number 2 this afternoon. Heads it forward. Parks was brought up just because of the loss of Villalobos, and with Caitlin Newsome out, they needed another body. And so she got activated because this one is sent wide to the left. She's a Carson Newman Division I product. As Gonzalez will tap this one out to McDonald. Rolls it forward. A couple of nice connections, and then the header back. Still at mid-pitch here. Coming up on 11 minutes. Henke from long distance. Moves the goalkeeper, but that's all that had to happen. Sadler was not pressed to make a save there. And Alabama pressing forward with 3 now. Sensing maybe an opportunity here in a scoreless match. Now, we mentioned that the key to the game, one of the keys for Chattanooga was keeping it scoreless after 30 minutes. They are 19 minutes away from accomplishing that task, trying to get behind the defense here. Aguilar at mid-pitch. Sadler coming way out and pushes it away, because closing quickly was Green. And Green almost had an opportunity there to poke one home. Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. She had 30 goals her sophomore year. has played previously with Alabama FC. Sadler again coming out and scoops this one up. Now she's gotten busy. Alabama right now has the measure offensively. And how about the red kicks right there? Red shooting, looking good. Caitlin Caminetti this afternoon. Seward sends it back. Aguilar at the right place at the right time. Wins the ball there on the turnover. And Chattanooga just not able right now to get the ball past mid-pitch. Will reorganize. Probably an afternoon of patience in store for the Chattanooga club. Caminetti sends it forward, and then the return is brought back. A dodge of the defender. It may be something to work with here. Playing ahead. Kara Bowl had it momentarily and watched it just slide off her foot. We're in the mid-80s this afternoon here in Chattanooga, so down on the turf a little bit warmer. And for these benches, there is no cover here. On the near stands, these players sit on metal benches and they are exposed to the elements all afternoon long. Trying to get over the top of the defense here. Held in by Jacqueline Montez, the player coach. Rather, the player coach actually is Jasmine Marquez, excuse me. And Marquez, who we will see this afternoon, she's been called into plenty of action. What with the loss of some players coming into this one, her veteran leadership. Flag is up. And Alabama to take over. And it looks like Alabama's going to make the first substitution of this match. As Scott is going to check in. So Scott comes in, and exiting is Wheeler. That is a marksman diamond substitution. Our first of the afternoon, and it comes with Alabama having just one other player other than the goalkeeper available today. The defensive effort there draws an ovation from the crowd here as this Alabama club is threatening and threatening and threatening. Let's go back and look at the tackle here on this replay. Caminetti gets a great angle and takes it away from one of the best players in the league in Mattingly. Riley Mattingly, 5 goals and 11 points in 2019 with Alabama. We already mentioned an all-SEC type of player. She has 4 goals and 1 assist this season. Aguilar, a quick send back. Parks had it momentarily. Chattanooga trying to spread this field a little bit, trying to get behind the defense, and they are unable for a moment to connect on the pass through, and so this one will roll out. Have they drawn the corner? They have. So their first set of the afternoon. Jasmine Marquez will be over the top of the ball. And this one to the short corner. And this one had a moment to ricochet. It's held in by Parks. And Chattanooga with their first viable threat of the afternoon, nearly scoring on the set play on the serve from the near corner. So the best action of the afternoon so far for Chattanooga, as we are coming up on 18 minutes. I'd like to remind everybody to stay with us at the half, as we have a guest and we have a feature as well. All in store for you by the football club and the staff here. The intention was to get it to Mae Pierce there, and instead it's out of play. Aguilar. Engaged here defensively and loses the battle on the ball. Boy, she was not given a whole lot of room defensively, as Grace Ellis was all over her today, especially at that point and throughout the match so far. Marquez and Aguilar right there together, fired in, and Gonzalez comes out and rolls right on top of it, preventing it. That's McKenzie, excuse me. We were told that Gonzalez would get the start today. That is McKenzie, the 00, that has gotten the start today. And so Gonzalez is on the bench. As Chattanooga again avoids another opportunity by Alabama. A marksman substitution now for Alabama, as Wheeler will re-enter and Seward will come out. As we said, there'll be some substitutions this afternoon, but there is no substitute for a marksman diamond, your jeweler in Chattanooga since 1978. It came at about the 20-minute mark as Aguilar tries to send this one across. Alabama has made a pair of those substitutions now. So Chattanooga plays host here this afternoon. They will turn right around and play again on Wednesday, as Chattanooga will make a substitution now. As Parks will exit and Kaylee Burrell will come on in her place at 21:40. And maybe one other substitution. So Another Markman's Diamond Jewelry substitution. Again, Marksman in Chattanooga since 1978. Gamache coming in, and Caminetti will leave. Caminetti had the big tackle earlier to keep this game at 0-0. Chattanooga with an opportunity. 4 players on the rush, and this one is kept out of play by Alabama's defense. They dropped 4 back on the line, and then 5, and they parked the bus there defensively and shut down what appeared to be a Chattanooga rush towards the net. As we said, these two teams meeting previously, and Alabama getting the upper hand 3-0 in that match. And not all that long ago, Alabama FC tied Nashville Rhythm in a 4-4 contest. That was the same night that Chattanooga was winning 2-1 here against North Alabama AC on the 6th of this month. Alabama coming off a win 4-0 against Alabama, North Alabama 5 nights ago. The action today is Tennessee Force and North Alabama, this one right here. Also in action, the Tennessee Force and the Nashville Rhythm will play. I'm sorry, that is tonight. So just a pair of matches. And then we mentioned that one on Wednesday night. Chattanooga FC will take on the Tennessee Force. Out now, just 5 minutes away from what Randy Douglas wanted out of his club, which was to have a clean slate. Why Coach Douglas thought that would be key. He felt like that in the match against North Alabama AC, that his system, his team was wearing down North Alabama. As this one is sent in on the box and coming out and then colliding, the goalie McKenzie right there is rolled up and rolled over. Is Chattanooga aggressively seeking their first goal? Let's go ahead and see if we can watch this one again. Watch right here. This one is over the top. I think it surprises everybody. And then the short bounce and the collision there. Another substitution from Marksman. So Caminetti will come back in, and Gamache will come out as we have reached 25:56. And there's going to be a water break. This one got started at 4:30. It was early. It is hot. And so the officials have the authority and the responsibility to make sure that these players stay hydrated. Back to what we were talking about recently about the match between Chattanooga and North Alabama. Chattanooga's style, he felt like, hey, look, we wore them out. I could see that North Alabama was reaching. They were trying to find fuel, not only for their bodies, but also for their offense. We had the lead. We were playing with a person down after the red card. And our goal was to wear them out and hold on. And maybe a thought here today is let's just make Alabama press early, which they have, because you know that their offense is going to be excited to get started. And between being here at home, the temperatures here at home, as you can see the substitutes right there, Shania Stevens and then Jennifer Seward for Alabama, that maybe, you know, the elements of the weather and the home crowd would have an effect on today's outcome. And Randy Douglas with his team last night. It was a short practice. They were out here not as long as normal. Practiced in the evening. Got him out of here. And there's a good look at Green wearing number 11. Fantastic player. When you just look at again at this roster, Mississippi State, University of Alabama a few times, Ball State, Auburn University represented, Samford, Wofford College and Mercer, UAB. And that's why we said this was a lineup made up of Division I players, primarily from the Southeastern Conference, the Sun Belt, and the Southern Conference. Aguilar, more than likely going to get every minute of action this afternoon. Caminetti sends it forward into the box and defended. Held in there and then chased to the sides. One of the other factors here this afternoon we haven't talked about, this is a doubleheader in this town. The men will play host tonight at 7:30, so we'll see fans trickling in throughout the afternoon as they will get to see a couple of games. Here's Stevens. She is behind the defense, and she is going to outrun everybody. She's going to have a shot on goal, and she sends this one in to the far left corner as Alabama has jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Jasmine Green with her first goal of the season here at the 29-minute mark. Let's go ahead and watch this again. We talked about her being a special player behind the defense. Abby Sadler comes out to take away one angle, but can't stretch back the other way. So the through pass connected on the Stevens breakaway. Well, Chattanooga was 1 minute away from that coveted goal of 30 minutes of 0-0. I think they got close enough, though, probably established some of the game plan that they want to have in play this afternoon. We have had some HH&M certified public accounting stoppage of time here for a water break. With HH&M, be sure to get the full support your business deserves. Go online today and start your conversation with a trusted and certified accountant. And we will find out here in a little bit just how much more time has been added here in this first half. So Alabama started making substitutions around 15 minutes, and then they score at the 29-minute mark. And looking for more here as they send this one forward. This is Dressback, and Dressback can't reach out and get her foot on it. So Chattanooga FC forced to play from behind here. The knockdown field. This one flowed forward and then lost at midfield and then held back in. Nice job by Jacqueline Montez. And now Chattanooga has some players on the rush. Broken up there defensively and fed back to Dressback. Dressback drives it forward. Wheeler had it momentarily in a stoppage of play now. Here at the 32-minute mark, and we've got another Markman's Diamond substitution. In business since 1978, there is no substitute for a Markman's Diamond, as we will see multiple players come in, one of them being Maddie Avery. Chattanooga is trying to find some fresh legs here in the last half of this first half and trailing 1-0. Couple of nice moves there with the feet, and then the crosser into the box. And Matt Kenzie has to come out and watch it roll up into her hands. Nice one-on-one battle there on the far side. Chattanooga doing a nice job today, and Alabama as well, countering both with central attacks and wide attacks, kind of taking what each team gives. Here's a punt that is deep. Midfield held in. Caminetti fires it forward. Tried to get it through to Chaco, it was cut off. Aguilar from straight on, fires it in and over and wide. Aguilar already with 1 goal this year, came in the last match. Let's see her there. You know, her match day level of play is in another gear. And not everybody can have that same gear in practice and in play. And her gears are a little bit different. Stop short of saying she's a lazy practice player, but there's just, for some players, there's a difference. As Chattanooga misses on the pass through there, there's just sometimes a difference between practicing and getting out there in front of the fans. And you know what, if you've coached at any level in any sport, you've had to deal with players that can be that way. And that's quite all right. How do you harness that player? Grace Ellis playing it forward defensively for Alabama. She's been busy this afternoon. Chaco here trying to roll this one forward, gets possession, sends it across and near, handled there by McKenzie at the 6. Sent forward to Dresbach. A quick touch ahead as she nudges it down the side here. One-on-one battle, and the tackle there on the far side knocked away. Boy, what a fantastic job by Anna Lantner to maintain pace there and eventually bring down Mattingly, who just can't find any room today. I already mentioned Mattingly with 4 goals this year. A very dangerous player. And with Haley Whitaker, who is not here today, out, Mattingly really has to maybe pick up a little bit of the offensive possession here as this one's knocked away. Haley Whitaker, who we thought might be here, played forward and outside back in her college days at Auburn. She's had Olympic development program experience in London and in Costa Rica, and was surprised and, to be honest with you, somewhat disappointed that she's not with the club this afternoon. Was looking forward to watching her play. Stevens for a moment had it in the box. Whitaker, Stevens, and Stevens watches it get past the goalkeeper, and then she is hammered in the box, and this one is in for the 2nd goal as Scott boots it forward. The question is, should this one have been called off? Sadler, so disappointed that she was left out there to take on the contact, as this goal is going to stand for Scott. Emily Scott makes it a 2-0 match. The question is now, can Abby Sadler stay in there? Emily Scott knocking it home. 3 tries, 3 looks on that offensive possession in the attacking third. And the first match ended 3-0. And Abby Sadler, her afternoon could be done. She got bounced around in the box there on that goal. And fortunately, she is up and walking off the field to play. And that will require the Chattanooga Football Club to make a substitution at the keeper position. Abby Sadler, we'll get the numbers later. She took a lot of heat this afternoon from this Alabama club that can score at will, as Caroline Johnson will be her replacement. Now, Caroline Johnson, familiar with her, we saw her in the North Alabama match, getting the win there. Probably thought she was going to get the afternoon off. And now called in here at the 38-31 mark, as Chattanooga finds themselves down 2-0, but playing better offensively. The question is now, at 2-0, can you lay back and play possession, or do you need to start to bring players forward and into the mix? They've had some of their best offensive here in the last half of the second half, or first half rather. As Stevens and Scott have now scored for Alabama. Chaco on the side watching it. Centered and lifted away. Once again, there defensively, Grace Ellis. Boy, Grace Ellis just laying back and wait. You often think of the goalies being that last line of defense, and today it feels like that she's got some help today by Grace Ellis, who was laid back to help her out. Chattanooga has had 1 corner kick this afternoon, and they nearly bounced one in from that corner. Other than that, a few other opportunities, a couple other looks, just not able to get anything home. The throw-in headed back. And Ellis, a quick touch. And Alabama's possession begins to build here. Played forward. And again behind the defense, but that will draw the flag. As Alabama felt like they had another breakaway opportunity. They are starting to get behind this defense, and who else but Mattingly was the player. Wide attack here. Defense is going to have to catch up, take away the angles, and a nice job to push this one past. Now, the offensive player was double marked. Caminini was involved, as well as Latner, 2 of the best on this club. And now they'll have to defend the corner kick here, so another set opportunity. Standing over this corner kick will be Dresbach. Far post, nodded away and collected. Caroline Johnson there. And she does the right thing here. She holds momentarily and lets the club get downfield a little bit. We've mentioned before, on this field, it can be difficult as a goalie to judge the depth of where your players are. And when you've been stressed the way they have, it is okay to hold on for a little bit. This Chaco there in the corner is troubled along the sides. It's okay to hold on to it, establish your positions. That one is headed away. Chattanooga trying to get into this attacking third and generate something. Taco watches it just get swiped away there. This is Mattingly playing it back. Pitch wide toss to Ellis. Now a breakaway goal for Alabama, and then a dirty one in the box. There's the reason why they have a 2-0 lead as they try to run out on this one, but the flag goes up. And a couple of times this afternoon they have been offsides. It's been an aggressive offensive performance by Alabama, who looks to maintain their position at the top of the league with Nashville. As we get inside that 43-minute mark now here at the Fort. Again, trying to make the connection. And it's a race for Caroline Johnson to pick it up. Oh, and Caroline Johnson gets nudged there. As again, Alabama continues to be so aggressive on these angled runs, and they have proven to be difficult for Chattanooga today on these vertical attacks to defend. That was Stevens, who momentarily felt like she was going to get another opportunity. It would have been her second of the day. On the side, along with Hurtado, unable to shake that defense. Now, we said it earlier, Chattanooga without 2 starters this afternoon, playing against one of the top clubs in the Southeastern Division. Also want to remind you, we've got an interview at the half and a feature as well put together by our staff. "45 minutes now. And we've got 4 minutes of added time. Now we knew sooner or later we'd have to see it. And there it is. Chattanooga trying to find something here. Working to find some offensive possession time here in the last 5 minutes of this first half. Alabama trying to find their marks here. Certainly got to keep an eye on Aguilar and Maddie Avery. Avery just trying to find some room in the box. She is one of the taller players, and they drive it in towards her direction, but this one is bar right wide on that outer post. And McKenzie had to move and slide into position, but didn't have to make a play on it. She'll burn some time off the clock here, positioning her defense. And it's the vocal captains, it's the vocal goalkeepers who really earn their keep. Stevens watches it go awry here. Chattanooga trying to hold this one in. Maybe with an opportunity here in the last minutes here of the first half, and taken down to the ground. Stevens with a look like, who, me? And so Chattanooga with another opportunity here. Will this be a central attack or a wide attack? This one leg forward and pushed aside. Alabama with a build out here. Defended aggressively from the backside in the return. Less than 3 minutes to go here now. Well, it's been a high tempo press today by Alabama. One time catching Chattanooga slightly out of position, another time forcing in a goal. Caminetti overplays it here. Dresbeck sends it mid-pitch. That's Mattingly. Mattingly searching left and right. Returns it back. Again, this women's club here in Chattanooga will play again on Wednesday night. It's a good look at Caminetti. Aguilar trying to run it forward, and this one is signaled to end. So we have made it through the first half, and Chattanooga is still within striking distance. They've got some work to do. They are down 2-0 here at the Fort. When we come back, interviews and features from Finley Stadium. You're watching the Chattanooga Football Club on 11 Sports.
Celebrate Earth Month with EPB and the EPB Energy Pros Green Lift giveaway. 2 lucky winners will get a VIP home energy upgrade worth up to $5,000. Use it for new windows, insulation, lighting. We'll help you build the perfect money-saving package. Plus, weekly winners will get awesome smart home prize packages. Enter to win at epb.com/greenlift now through April 30th and follow EPB to learn more.
And welcome back to our broadcast coverage of Chattanooga Football Club action this afternoon, as the women's team is right now at the half trailing Alabama, one of the best teams in the league. There you see the score 2-0. I'm Todd Agnew. We're joined now here at the half by Crew Brock. And Crew, you've got some exciting news. I heard about this the other day, and I wasn't sure what to make of it, so maybe you can tell us about the license plates.
Yeah, really excited about it, Todd. This is something that some of our state political leaders here, Patsy Haywood and Bo Watson, helped pass a legislation for Chattanooga FC to have a license plate that's a legitimate Tennessee driver's license plate for anybody located in Tennessee. The only thing that's hard is, you know, so many fans in other states, especially Georgia and Alabama, but you have to live in Tennessee to get this plate. But it is it's something that we're pushing hard this month. We have a month to get everybody's names in, and the 1st of July we'll send those to the state and get the plates printed and get everybody on board.
So walk me through that process. I'm listening, I'm watching, I want to play it. I do what next?
It's really exciting. So again, what I like about this is it's supportive of everybody involved in Chattanooga Football Club. So all the fans, all the Chattanooga, all the academy kids, our foundation kids, and it's one of those things that we've set up a simple thing online. It's a QR code or a cfcplates.com, and if you just walk through that, real simple process. The state just wants your address. It costs $35. The proceeds of that do go to support the Chattanooga FC Foundation, which has all the programs that we do every day here in Chattanooga, which is really exciting.
All right, so I go online. And I go to the Chattanooga Football Club website. I find the links, and I go and I register and I pay a fee, and then hopefully I get a plate.
Yes.
I've paid fees before and not gotten anything for it.
Well, that's so. The last couple of years, everybody's gotten a little slower on doing things, especially the way the state works. But they've committed to as fast as they can. We have a design, and as soon as it's ready to print, everyone will basically have to go get it when they get their new plates. And the state just did create new plates. We'll see how people respond. If you didn't like those, this is a good opportunity to get in.
Now I've seen the design, but I don't know that was something in-house. Is it on the website today?
It is on the website today, yeah. Right. CFC plates or on the main website.
Can I get a goalie one that's just bright yellow?
I sure wish we could do that. You can get some spray paint, maybe do your own.
Maybe I could make my own. Who came up with this idea?
Well, we've been working on it for a long time, and Paul Rustan does all of our design, and so he designed a beautiful plate, and then Jeremy thought it'd be a great idea for everybody involved. So it's one of those things that everybody wins, and the foundation gets a lot of added benefit for the support for participating in it.
I think it's a great idea. Can you get these personalized?
Well, I think this is as personalized as you can get it.
Okay.
Chattanooga FC.
You can't get number one.
Well,
maybe.
Well, I'll say this: if you
CFC number one,
I do have to submit a list, and,
okay.
And the first on that list may get number one.
So they may get number one, right? Okay, because I would imagine people will be going, okay, what variation of C can I put in there? FC, whatever. I'm sure people will come up with 1,000 different things that I can't come up with. So
I'll do my best to put the list in that order. We'll see what the state does with it. But again, it's one of those things where I'd love to drive around town or anywhere in the state to see Chattanooga FC license plate on the back of people's cars. It's such an identifier, what you're supporting and what you're about.
Yeah, I think people like to personalize and advertise their interest, right? And it's very helpful. Tell us more about the foundation quickly.
So the foundation is an amazing piece of work we do. You're basically doing something all the time. We're in 30 schools in Hamilton County, Bradley County, and starting in Catoosa County. We do after-school programming. We have 5 neighborhoods that we're really focused on in addition to the school program, where we have we just basically go engage kids in each neighborhood. And Highland Park Commons and now Montague Park will be 2 places where we do a lot of our programming and a lot of animation of just trying to get people together. I think everybody knows soccer is one of the best sports to get people together, brings everybody in the world together. At Highland Park Commons will have about 26 different countries represented in Chattanooga, which is amazing. So we hope it really, relationship building. It's amazing what soccer does.
So the deadline for the plates again is?
June 28th. I'd like for everybody to think it's today, though, so they get on it.
We are saying that a few times today.
Yes.
So.
Everybody here likes to wait till the deadline, so think it's today.
All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah, Ty, thanks for having me.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right, thanks. Let's go CFC.
All right, Chattanooga down by a pair. What do they have in the tank for the second half? We'll find out. More to come your way after this break. And there's a look at the skyline and the score here in Chattanooga. The football club hosting Alabama Football Club. Chattanooga with some work to do, down 2-0. Let's go ahead and get you to the stats from the first half of action. You can see that for Alabama FC, they had the 2 goals on 3 shots. Chattanooga still really looking for a wonderful opportunity. They've had one. There you see the 2 shots on goal, the 2 corners so far this afternoon, and then the 4 fouls to the 3 fouls. And we have had a clean match so far. Nobody's been booked as of yet. These stats being brought to you by 105.1 FM. ESPN coverage here in Chattanooga on the radio. So the 2 corners today for Chattanooga, that's where the opportunities really occurred. For Alabama, you see those 2 goals. They have left their strikers at midfield. They've managed to get behind the defense at times, one time resulting in a breakaway goal. The other was what I like to call a dirty goal. A lot of activity in front of the goalkeeper. And finally, just getting a foot on it. And that goal actually took the starter out, as the goalkeeper that started today, Abby Sadler, collided at that moment with Emily Scott. Some people might have felt like it should have drawn a foul. It did not. So the score remains 2-0 as both clubs have come back out onto the turf here at Finley Stadium. We've had a stoppage of play in the first half due to the heat and weather conditions. I suspect maybe we'll see another stop in the second half for the same reasoning. Both teams have substituted often. It's been a bit different for Alabama, however, as they have only brought one other substitute other than a backup goalie. So a limited roster making the trip this afternoon for Alabama FC, as we get a good look right there at the Chattanooga Football Club and their goalkeeper now, Caroline Johnson, wearing number 18, who came in after Sadler was taken out of the match with the collision in the box. Caroline Johnson getting the win just the other day. Abby Sadler, she was making her second start since the Nashville match. And she has had to face some very tough competition, as Nashville is one of those teams in this league that can score. When you talk about the teams in this league that scores, Miami United in the South region, they've got 11 goals. They've also allowed 11, though. North Alabama, a team that Chattanooga dispatched earlier, they're on the opposite end. They've got 1 goal. They've allowed 16 this year. And then the teams that have really been aggressive this year, Challenge Red Devils. They've got 14 goals. They've only allowed 4 so far this year. The Charlotte Club, 22 goals. They've allowed 2. And then there's the Women's Club. Then there's the Charlotte Eagles. And they have scored 19 and only allowed 2 this year as well. So some big offenses in the South region. In the league stats here in the Southeastern Conference, Alabama and Chattanooga, each 3 games played. Alabama with 11 goals this year. They've allowed 4 now. They've got 13. And Chattanooga in 3 games, 3 goals and 11 allowed. So Chattanooga again facing a 2-0 deficit. We kicked off at 4:30. This is a doubleheader here this afternoon. That's the reason why the early start, as Chattanooga will begin with a corner kick. The men's club, as Aguilar will boot it in, and this one is headed in! Far corner, off the set for Chattanooga. As they strike early here, Aguilar sends it in on the service. And this is a 1-goal game now, as Chattanooga has tightened things up here in this match. Jacqueline Montez with the header. You see her right there wearing number 9. Let's show you the replay. All the way over on that far post on the set, and then the header that goes in. Alabama now going to press as they bring forward their offense, and Johnson scoops it up and in. We were saying that Chattanooga had some work to do, and they have gotten started. Question now is, can they continue to have that momentum? This is Aguilar, who wins it right there in between the hash marks. Mackenzie puts her right foot on the ball and tells her defense to find their positions.
over the top and nodded forward and then headed back out, chested there. You know, there really is a question whether or not North Alabama can keep up the pace today with the weather and a limited number of players. And I've been watching on the sidelines. They actually have one of the players right now that is hobbled out of our view. And she'll get some attention from the trainers. And they started to substitute pretty early in the first half. Started at the 20-minute mark. And then frequently just exchanged players. And normally you think 2-0, probably enough to sit on. But 2-1 is different. Battling there. Montez. Cut off. That one flow forward, push from the back, no call. And then out of play. So Caitlin Caminetti will throw it in there. Alabama rather has found themselves on the defensive end here. Caminetti with a long toss. And this one is touched forward. And then out of play there. Mae Pierce was trying to catch up, couldn't quite do it. And her hard tackle will draw a quick conversation from one of the officials. Chattanooga on the board at the 46-45 mark here as we are underway in the second half. Stevens defended, and defended well. Marquez for a moment. Parks had it momentarily. Pierce plays it back. So Chattanooga has managed to find their way back into this contest. And still only one substitute right now on the bench for Alabama. It is possible that the club that is out there right now is going to have to go the distance as Green has a long run in front of her. Tries to send it forward to Dresbach, and it's cut off there. So a throw in back up the line. Mattingly. And she is hawked there defensively. Back to center pitch. Boy, nicely done to shoulder that one forward. There's a tie-up and there's a whistle to stop the play. A foul on Alabama. In that first half, both clubs had some errant passes, just not able to make the connections. And so the goalies, they had to come out and clean up a few mistakes. And on one of the goals for Chattanooga, or against Chattanooga, when you do that, when you come out and you're aggressive and you're trying to clean up maybe a mistake or two, you have a tendency to leave some space behind you. You wonder how tight things are going to get here now. Quite a bit of possession time right there by one player. Dresback. This is Green. Green has the angle taken away. Sends it wide. Back in. And they were hoping that they could connect with Mattingly. It sails up and out. Still have not had a booking in this match so far. And it seems like that these two teams have gotten a little bit more aggressive the longer this match has gone on. Caminetti gets the return. We've also seen today a couple of poor clearing attempts. This one is behind the defense. It's 2-on-1. Can they get it crossed? And the defense catches up. Chattanooga had the trailer and just not able to angle it over. And so they will have to reset. What was a wonderful opportunity as Montez had broken free. But she just wasn't able to get that cross in there. Hoping momentarily that she and Mae Pierce could connect for what would have been the second goal of the match. Caminetti strikes it forward. Montez with possession now. The goal scorer. Chattanooga's offense continues to be on the attack here in the second half, where their second goal has come. Emily Scott for Alabama put her team on the board at the 37-minute mark, 37:05, and they have been held off the scoreboard since then. Alabama scoring at the 29-minute mark and that 37:05 mark. Alabama going to try to start another sequence here. Looking for Green. And again, one of those errant passes just not anywhere near to connecting. I've always said at any sport, if you play at an odd time, and 4:30 feels odd when you're used to playing at 7:30 all the time, as Aguilar rifles one in from long distance. And the goalie will handle there with the foot. When you do that, it disrupts the rhythm that these athletes naturally have. As Montez will force McKenzie to pick it up with the press. Yeah, you get a little disrupted and you get out of rhythm. Caminetti sends it across. Couple of one touches, and now Chattanooga looks to build here. In towards the box, still loose, on the foot, rifled high. Another opportunity. As Chattanooga start to warm to the offensive task, Marquez that time sent that one over the net towards the men's clubs. The two men's teams that will play here earlier, or later I should say, are starting to arrive on the scene. And here comes a substitution now. There'll be a couple of Markman Jewelers substitutions here, in business since 1978. And now we've been able to identify the player who, for for Alabama rather, who appears to be out for the afternoon with a shoe off, is Seward. And that would leave this team down to one substitution available. So Alabama going to have to try to hold on here in the heat. With a limited number of players, Chattanooga, now you wonder, for Coach Randy Douglas, does this start to dictate how he approaches, how he will substitute here? You start to maybe wonder if you can wear somebody out. Chattanooga trying to defend here. They deflect and they move it out. Trying to play it forward, and this one is just beyond, maybe momentarily, of the reach. But catching up and handling it and putting it in on goal with a shot that is collected there by McKenzie is Kaylee Burrell. Burrell with a long run. She was defended by two and still managed to get a shot off. Aguilar steps in front of this one. That one did not find its mark, and now Chattanooga again with another opportunity. Caminetti. Wide side, right side. Sending it on in. Demarius Gaines, who scored in the last match here for Chattanooga, has entered the contest. Watch right here. Burrell. She wins this one, plays it behind the defender. It makes the goalkeeper go to the turf. That is great work, by the way, by our crew. Chattanooga with 4, now 5 in on the attack. Opportunity here. This one coming across. It's served in. And McKenzie comes out and takes it with both hands. So all of that offensive momentum from the first half with Alabama has not transitioned into the second half, as Anna Silva tried to drive that one as close as she could. At the next opportunity, Vanessa Lara is going to be checked in for Chattanooga. This is Gaines. Gaines to the left side, trying to push it to the back end. It gets physical there, and it goes out. Chattanooga pressing for what they hope will be the tying goal and get out of here with some points against Alabama. 63-57 now. We talked about that substitution. Here comes Vanessa Lara. Rutan will check out. And Stevens is going to run off and get a break now. And Scott, the goal scorer, will come in. So one goal scorer for another. This one almost a mid-pitch. Chattanooga cuts it off early. Sends it back. Chattanooga starting to get some friendly deflections here. And the flag in this half is staying down. We saw a lot of offsides in that first half. Not so much here. Mattingly pressed from the back and from the front. Alabama will send the throw in down the line. Green dealing with a pair of defenders. Madeling on the side. Here comes a right-footed toss in towards the box, and this one sails up and bends out and over. Well, the idea looked like it was going to be to try to get that to Green on that far post. Just not able to connect. Sending it on its way to the near side then. Caitlin Caminetti engaged it momentarily, gave it back, and now she gets the return. Looking for some room. Pushes it forward, has to catch up. On the run now. There's 5. And Alabama steps in front to cut it off. Anybody's ball here. 50-50 ball, push back. As we said, it's gotten a little bit more physical. Still no yellow cards or red in this match. We saw a red in the last match here at home against North Alabama, as this one is collected. Chattanooga also had a circumstance. They had the red card in the last match, but it erased a goal by North Alabama, as the North Alabama player had broken through the defense, was fouled in the process of her shot. It went into the back of the net. They took that off the scoreboard, and then Chattanooga played the remainder of the match, a player down, and as it turns out, playing a person down the entirety of the match didn't hurt them. Taking the goal off the board helped them, and they got the win, and they got their first points of the year. Using the chest to control, and Caminetti now. This one picked off. Alabama. Some one-touch passing. And the service, the crosser, taken away. And that one hurt. This one will draw the trainers in. Oh, Caroline Johnson, you see there the goalkeeper. She is in because of an injury that forced the starter out. And Abby Sadler. And we don't know the condition of the player here on the turf. If this will force her out as well. That would be the second one of the afternoon. We will get some HHM certified public accounting stoppage time here. Get the full support your business deserves. Go online today and start your conversation with a trusted and certified accountant at HHM. Well, you know, it felt a little hopeless when the second half got started. Down 2-0. This looks like this is Caminetti. Oh, what a loss. They're going to have to carry her off. Not able to put any weight on that right ankle. And obviously hoping for the best of outcomes with her. She has played such a fantastic match today. And if Chattanooga were to somehow tie this one up, get some points, either with a tie, a draw, or the win, she would certainly be a player well deserving of a pat on the back. So entering to play, Gamache. And there you see it right there on your screen at the 71-22 mark now. So Gamache in for the injured Caminetti. And play will resume here momentarily. Now, in this amateur league, certainly rotations and reps are all a part of this game, as the corner kick is sent on its way. Out towards the top, headed out. A kind bounce, however, keeps it in. Chattanooga trying to clear. This one fired in on goal and fired high. So a couple of clearing attempts there that didn't quite connect. Now in their last match, Chattanooga scored at the 61-39 mark. We are well beyond that here in this match. That's back when they played North Alabama. And now they will continue on without Caminetti in the lineup as they try the offensive push here. And there's an aggressive takedown down near the corner, just trying to catch up. That was Gaines. We were just talking about that goal in the last match. That was Gaines that booted it in. Boy, Alabama rather, excuse me. They just don't have the numbers to play today with another injury. They've got Stevens on the bench, who is still eligible to come in and more than likely will come back in if needed. Mattingly. This one behind the defense. It's in the corner on the right side and pushed sideways. Well, that one got down to the 18-yard line. So Chattanooga from deep within their own defensive territory to try to play it out. A ricochet on their behalf and then held in by Alabama again. And you can see why this is such a good club and why they are near the top of the standings. Such an instinct for where the ball's going to be. Mattingly sends it sideways. Scott has it now. This one to Green. Green at the sixes. And she's going to try to cross this one, and the flag is up. Oh, a frustrating opportunity there for Alabama. With a 2-1 lead, you thought that 3-1 was going to happen quickly there. And they have to substitute. and Chattanooga is going to substitute. This is an exhausting day for both these clubs. 2 players out by injury for Chattanooga, 1 out by injury for Alabama. Stevens to check back in for Alabama. This really could be just who has players and fuel at the end here. Now Chattanooga is going to have to put together a rush here now that we've gotten down to 74 minutes. More than likely, not enough time to panic and get out of position, but you're starting to get concerned about this. Nice action there by Chattanooga to gain possession. Going to go wide here, spread the field. Make Alabama cover the entire pitch. The first match between these two was moved to a high school field, and the pitch was considerably narrower than the one here. And so today, for Alabama at least, I've got to cover the whole thing. Oh, and here is one that was a tricky but well-handled strike on the ball to McKenzie at goalkeeper, who elevated with 1 foot and nearly mistimed that one. That's why we say it's never a bad idea to put a ball on goal if possible. Handled here in the corner by Latner. Alabama had that 2-0 lead at the half, and now trying to protect the 2-1 lead. Stevens there in the corner for Alabama. Keeping an eye on their bench, and do not believe I said earlier that Seward was more than likely done for the day, and she will stay out, as Alabama has won the corner here. And in the box for Chattanooga, defenders on each post, and Carolyn Johnson in the middle. This one coming across and fisted out of there by Caroline Johnson. A friendly bounce. Alabama. Stevens with a shot, and this one missing wide. Watch right here. Here's the long distance strike. Off the bounce. And well handled by the keeper. And another player for Chattanooga has been fallen. And this is the player, MJ Parks, the practice player that was activated. And Parks is okay. She's going to play on. She was activated about 48 hours before this match, maybe less than that. We got the word yesterday late in practice that she was going to be activated, and then we got the official notice this afternoon when we arrived here at the stadium. Eddie Gamache had it on her foot there for a moment. And with 2 players down for Chattanooga coming into this match, and now losing 1 to injury so far in this match, it's a good thing they started calling up players. It's a good thing they have practice squad players. This one gets by the defense, and the mistake is cleaned up there by the keeper. Chattanooga forcing the decision here. Trying to not allow Alabama just to run the clock down. dotted back out. Middle of the playing field. One touch and a run. Sent wide. Green catches up. Green on the sprint here. Gonna look to send this one across, and she can't angle this one through for Stevens. As Stevens was marked defensively, Green just couldn't manage to get it to her. Burrell escapes the defense. Sends it forward. This one's through. And then it's defended on. Chattanooga Football Club trying everything they can to catch up in this match. Substitution now. Another marksman substitution. Your local jewelry store right here in Chattanooga. There is no substitution when it comes to jewelry. Trust me, I've tried it. Alabama has packed in 4 back defensively along the line. Chattanooga trying to find some room. Here's an opportunity. Coming across and at the 6 line, pushed away. Chattanooga still with an opportunity. In on goal. And another grab. Now, Mackenzie, if she thought it was going to be an easy ending for her club, she's going to have to come up with maybe a few more like that. Already 2 today by her here recently. Having to elevate as Chattanooga has tried to go bar down on their goal attempts. You know, and in training each and every day for the goalkeepers, that's part of it. How do you slide and handle the left and the right post? And how do you scoop up the rollers? And then how do you defend the high shots? So Chattanooga has gone to that higher action ball, and it's created some opportunities. Watch right here. Nice job to turn and put this one on. There you see Aguilar coming back in. This is going to be the final push then with her coming in. She represents maybe their best possibility to put another goal here. As Gaines is not on the pitch. Again, Alabama scoring at the 29-minute mark. Stevens with a breakaway goal. Again at the 37:05 mark. Emily Scott making it 2-0. And then Chattanooga finally in the second half at 46:45. Montez heads in the Aguilar corner kick to make it 2-1. Swept away and out defensively. Chattanooga wins the ball, Burrell, and then she is bumped aggressively by Stevens. And that could be our first booking of the day. That is a yellow card. Shania Stevens. Boy, and Chattanooga almost capitalized again on another attempt. That was our Capperman, White, and McGarvey yellow card. Capperman, White, and McGarvey providing comprehensive eye care in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. This one chipped away. As Alabama was threatening again, and they have not threatened in a while here in the second half. And now with an opportunity here. Coming from the corner. And again, Chattanooga will defend each post with a position player. As Alabama fights for position, not a bad serve. And this one pushed away and out. Alabama trying to cut off that pass, couldn't quite do it. So Chattanooga's offensive attack will continue as they try to move that into the third, the attacking third. Another substitution coming for Alabama here in a moment, as they are finishing out the match with one available player. Scott re-enters the match now. I would suspect she would go the distance as well. This Chattanooga is looking for an opportunity here. And that Alabama defense is just kind of sagged in and bound and determined not to let anything get too close. Sent wide, this is Green. Green on the run, a long run in front of her. Green towards the 6. And that one finally is disrupted and played back. Hurtado now going to come in. And Avery's going to check out. Two matches today, Tennessee Force in North Alabama, and this one right here. So two of the top 3 teams in action this afternoon. With Nashville having the day off, but they will play Tennessee Force on the 15th. So there could be some movement in the standings at the end of this week. Aggressive bump there. A little touch forward, broken up. And now the run. This is Burrell again. Burrell with 3. One to her left, one to her right, and instead it's pushed away. And there'll be more substitutions. A little surprised Stevens is coming out, but this is clearly a decision defensively made. We got 5 more minutes of extra time now to be played. So that is what Chattanooga is dealing with. They've got 5 minutes to tie this one up. This is HHM added time. HHM, certified accountants, when trust matters. Make the call. Here's a high punt. Well, Chattanooga, just not that many opportunities left. Let's see if they bring as many as possible forward. Flared out there wide for Alabama, held in by Alabama now. And the clock is ticking and running out of time here at the fort, as they like to call it in Chattanooga. Dressback has it right here on her foot. Bit of a keep away here. Boy, this is such a big part of practice as well. You get with your team on the sides during training and you just play keep away. Learning how to avoid contact. Caroline Johnson is going to send it forward with the kick. They need to hold it in. Burrell couldn't do it. Chattanooga, however, gets the ball back, sending it wide. Going to try to stretch it. Nice job by Mackenzie to come out aggressively. Just looking for some field position here now by Alabama as they push it over the mid-pitch line. Make Chattanooga build up the distance. And when you do that, you've got to play almost perfect takedown. There's been 1 yellow card in this match. Not so long ago. Against Alabama. It's been our only card of the day. Here's an opportunity. Maybe a good look here. Rolls it on the ground, and this one driven out. So Chattanooga will have to reorganize here. Down the line goes the roll. Got to catch up to it in the corner and out. Chattanooga wins the throw-in. Kicked right back out. A little over 2 minutes left. A drive. Oh, and this one's pushed over by Mackenzie. That is 3 times here in the second half that she's had to elevate. Twice she's been able to hold on to it. This time she holds on and pushes it over and out. Chattanooga wins the corner, however. About 1.5 minutes here. This one towards the far corner. Burrell is there. Nothing comes of it. So Chattanooga will go from the corner again. Maybe a minute. Long drive. Fired in and bounced out. Aguilar with the right foot. Misses wide. Could be less than a minute now. Matt Kenzie very deliberate here. Going to milk some time off. Try to get some distance here. Reverse field position. This one gets behind. Chattanooga catches up. The question is there any time left? Player down with cramping. That's got to be cramping under these conditions. Chattanooga has to strike now. Maybe 30 seconds left. Coming up to press. And that one goes out. The Chattanooga players now starting to lend assistance on the player that is down, and this one appears to have come to a conclusion as this match will end on a very aggressive run by Chattanooga to try to even things up. Just not able to get it done. As Chattanooga, after picking up some points the other day with a win over North Alabama, takes the loss here this afternoon. And for Alabama, this is their second consecutive win. It is their third in 4 tries with one other draw on the board for them. So they continue to hold a good look at the top part of the standings here in the Southeastern Conference. Here this afternoon for Alabama, they got on the board first at the 29-minute mark in the first half, 1-0 with a Stevens breakaway goal. And then Emily Scott added a goal in the second at the 37:05 mark, making it 2-0. Chattanooga would eventually get on the board at the 46:45 mark when Montez headed in a Aguilar corner kick to make it 2-1. And that was the end of the afternoon. So, for our entire crew, I'm Todd Agnew saying so long from Chattanooga's Finley Stadium, with the final score is Alabama 2, Chattanooga 1. And as a reminder, all Chattanooga Football Club matches are streaming live on 11 Sports and archived there for you.